It's 2:47 in the morning. The room is silent. Everyone else seems to be asleep, except you. Have you ever noticed that the harder you try to fall asleep, the more awake you become? You turn the pillow over, pull the blanket up, close your eyes. Then you make the biggest mistake of the night. You check the time. Now your brain starts doing math. If I fall asleep right now, I'll get 4 hours. A few minutes later, you check again, still awake. And without realizing it, you've spent 5 more minutes worrying about sleep instead of simply resting. Almost a century ago, Dale Carnegie noticed this exact pattern, and he kept asking one question that nobody else was asking. What if the thing keeping you awake isn't insomnia at all? What if it's your fear of insomnia? We'll come back to that. Now imagine there's someone else in the room, not a doctor, not a sleep expert, Dale Carnegie, quietly sitting beside you, watching you fight a battle he recognized nearly a century ago. Before you say a word, he already knows what you're thinking. If I don't sleep, tomorrow is ruined. Then he gently asks, "Who told you that?" We treat sleep like a switch. Flip it on, close your eyes, fall asleep. But sleep has never worked that way. The harder you chase it, the faster it disappears. Try to force yourself to laugh right now, or try to forget an embarrassing memory on command. The more effort you apply, the more impossible it becomes. Sleep follows exactly the same rule. The moment your brain decides, "I have to sleep," your body hears something completely different. Something is wrong. Your heart beats faster, your thoughts become louder, your muscles tighten. You're trying to rest, but your nervous system believes it's preparing for danger. Carnegie understood this long before neuroscience had a name for it. People weren't losing sleep because they were awake. They were staying awake because they were terrified of being awake. Instead of giving an answer, Carnegie does what great teachers always do. He tells a story. That story begins with Samuel Untermeyer. By the early 20th century, Untermeyer had become one of the most powerful lawyers in America. In 1931, he handled a single legal case that earned him a fee of $1 million, an almost unimaginable sum for that era. From the outside, his life looked complete. What almost nobody knew was that he had never been able to sleep properly. Most people would have spent those nights in quiet despair, wondering what was broken inside them. Untermeyer made a different decision. If sleep refused to come, he stopped fighting it. A few minutes later, you check again, still awake. And without realizing it, you've spent 5 more minutes worrying about sleep instead of simply resting. Almost a century ago, Dale Carnegie noticed this exact pattern, and he kept asking one question that nobody else was asking. While the rest of the world waits for the day to begin, Untermeyer is already halfway through his work. His insomnia never disappeared, but his fear of insomnia did. And according to Carnegie, that was the only change that mattered. If Carnegie were still sitting beside you now, he'd lean in and say quietly, "Did you notice what Samuel never tried to do? He never tried to force sleep. He simply refused to let sleeplessness become the center of his life." He didn't fix his sleep. He fixed his relationship with being awake. And that raises a question Carnegie couldn't ignore. If acceptance is the answer, why do some people completely fall apart? Why does a sleepless night become a sleepless month? And sometimes something much worse. Carnegie had an answer for that, and it came from a story that disturbed him far more than Untermeyer's ever did. Ira Sanders' problem didn't begin with insomnia. It began because he slept too well. He kept sleeping through his alarm. After receiving warnings at work, he became terrified of oversleeping again. So every night, he lay in bed staring at the alarm clock beside him, listening. Tick, tick, tick. That tiny sound slowly became louder than every other thought in his mind. Imagine your brain has 2 rooms. One is filled with alarms, the other is filled with silence. Every time you worry about tomorrow, you walk straight into the room full of alarms. Then you wonder why you can't find the room where sleep lives. When you're anxious, your sympathetic nervous system takes over. Your heart rate rises. Your breathing becomes shallow. Every system orients towards survival, not rest. Sleep lives in the other room entirely, the one that only opens when your brain registers one thing: I am safe. Because sleep doesn't arrive when the body becomes tired. It arrives when the mind finally feels safe. Tonight, you might wake up at 2:47. Your brain might whisper, "Only 4 hours left." Then another voice quietly answers, "Who told you 4 hours isn't enough?" Imagine Carnegie walking quietly into your room one last time. He wouldn't bring sleeping pills. He wouldn't promise 8 perfect hours. He'd simply sit beside the bed, look at the clock, and gently turn it face down. Not because the time doesn't matter, but because your fear of the time matters far more. Then he'd leave without another word, because he'd already said everything that needed to be said. Tonight, when your hand reaches for the clock, pause. Turn it face down. Close your eyes, not because you'll definitely fall asleep, but because you finally stopped trying to control the night. And maybe, just maybe, because sleep has never been something you catch. It's something you stop chasing.